Today will be a day to remember for the rest of your life. The Pro Football Hall of Fame is excited to present the Heart of a Hall of Famer program connected by Extreme Networks. With over 100 Hall of Famers participating, we have reached 47 states and countries all over the world, sharing the message that football is more than a game and can teach Americans important life values like commitment, integrity, courage, respect, and honesty.
You have to make right decisions even when nobody's watching you.
Well, respect is not just given out. It's not handed out like a brochure. It's earned.
Today, you are presented with an opportunity to meet and learn from one of the greatest football players of all time. But more important than that, the chance to see that their Hall of Fame life wasn't given to them. They didn't roll out the bed great. They put the work in, on the field, in the weight room, in the classroom, in their communities. They made themselves a Hall of Famer on and off the field.
Your feet can't take you where your mind's never been.
Because you can make it, but it's just gonna take a little hard work and some effort and the drive and determination.
And today, you will learn you can do the same thing they did. You don't have to have a gold jacket or a bronze bust to make a difference in the lives of others. It's your decision whether you want to be a successful student, son, daughter, brother, or sister.
If attitudes are contagious, is your attitude worth catching?
It's integrity as well, because when you decide to pursue something and you don't quit, that says a lot about you.
Commitment to excellence. We can all aspire to be the best.
Welcome to a once-in-a-lifetime program, the Heart of a Hall of Famer program, connected by Extreme Networks.
And to my favorite Warriors of all, Marcus Allen, Charles Haley, you know what I love about you guys. Your undeniable love. I love you.
I spoke of some of our Super Bowl players earlier, but there are others who hold a very special place in my heart. Men who really changed my life. I can't name them all, but I would like to recognize just a few. Just because I really do love saying their name and remembering what they meant to our team. Charles Haley.
Charles Haley, no one came more prepared to play or played harder on game day than Charles did.
For me, one of the biggest honors today is joining my guys, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott, Charles Haley, Freddie Dean, Steve Young, and of course, the great Bill Walsh. And then there's Charles Haley. I'll never forget, we were playing the Bears in Chicago, and he got ejected from the game. I knew he'd be alone, so I went to the locker room to be with him. He saw me and said, "Hey, Mr. D, they ejected you too?" I never got over Charles leaving, but a small part of me took pride in the fact that the best defensive player on the Cowboys team was a 49er.
All right, with that, I'd like to welcome everyone here in front of us to the Heart of a Hall of Famer program connected by Extreme Networks. Featuring today, who you'll meet in 1 second, that guy up on the screen who you just heard all about, Mr. Charles Haley. Our mission here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame is to honor the greatest of the game, to preserve its history, to promote its values, and to celebrate excellence together. And we're excited to speak on the Hall of Fame's core values, those of commitment, integrity, courage, respect, and honesty, all of which are going to make the gentleman sitting in this seat here in a few seconds the football player that he was, but also made him a great man and a great person off the field. My name is Jake Ray. I'm the Youth Education and Leadership Manager here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I've got the distinct honor of sitting in this seat and getting to talk to our special guest here today. Before we bring him up on stage, just a few thank yous I'd like to pass out. First and foremost, I'd like to thank our great partners at Extreme Networks for everything they do for us at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Without their support for the entire Hall of Fame, specifically this program, students here, you would not have the opportunity to hear from our Hall of Famers. So we'd like to thank them for everything that they do. Secondly, I'd like to thank our teachers and administrators, the educators who, left their classrooms, left their schools today to bring their students here. We definitely appreciate it. And then lastly, we have to thank our students. Without all you guys here, this is just me talking to somebody on a stage. You guys get the opportunity to hear from a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame today, and it's not every day that that gets to take place. So, really listen, focus, pay attention today because you're going to be able to learn a lot of really cool and unique things. We have a lot of schools represented today. I'm just going to list them all out. We've got John Glenn High School, Perry High School, Glenville High School, Garfield CLC, Project Rebuild, McKinley High School, Early College Academy, Oberlin High School, Theodore Roosevelt High School, East High School, Plymouth High School, and Woodridge High School here today. Throughout the program today, we're going to be taking questions. Some of you students were pre-selected. You all have a note card in your hands. You're going to be picked to ask a question throughout the program. So what you'll do is you'll step back there to the microphone, state your name, the school you go to, and then go ahead and ask your question, and our Hall of Famer will sit up here and answer it. If you do have a question and you don't have a card, find a member of our Hall of Fame staff in the back, and you'll be able to talk to them, tell them your question, and we might just be able to fit it in as part of the program. And no matter what you're doing today, whether you're in here touring, make sure if you're posting pictures, make sure you tag us at Pro Football HOF and use the at Extreme Networks for our great partners, and use the hashtag HOF values in your post. Just might be reshared. So that's enough of me talking. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome a 5-time Super Bowl champion, a 5-time Pro Bowler, 100.5 career sacks, 12 years in the NFL, but most importantly, a Hall of Famer, Mr. Charles Haley.
Thank you. What's up? What's up?
What's going on? Good to see you.
Good seeing
Welcome
you.
home.
Yeah.
Second home.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, let's pull the hoodies down, guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, Charles, as we said, welcome here to your second home, Canton, Ohio, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I always like to start out because I think it's a cool and unique experience coming to Canton, maybe as just a player in the NFL. But what was it like that first time when you walked in as a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame? You walked through those front doors as Charles Haley, Pro Football Hall of Famer.
Well, to be honest, my first year when I went in, it was a blur because we had so many activities to do. I really didn't get a chance to really enjoy walking into this building until my second year. And then it just dawned on me, what an honor, what a privilege to have been selected and to be, to be a part of this this legacy, this standard of excellence, and realizing that you had to do something different and that nobody else has done to be able to get this honor, and I thank God for that.
So those 5 values we mentioned are 5 values here at the Hall of Fame: commitment, integrity, courage, respect, and honesty. Out of those 5, is there one that stands out to you that may have left an impact more in your football career and your life outside of the game more than others? Or, I kind of like to say they're all like a team. Do they all kind of work together to make you the best person you can be?
Well, I think every one of them, every one of those standards has been instilled in me. First of all, my mom and dad, my heroes, because they taught me how to be a man. They taught us a standard that, what hard work does, what dedication does, what will does. And they set a standard. And, they're my rock. I went through a lot of different struggles to get to where I am today, but they were always there for me. And so my thing is accountability. That's my biggest thing, and my mama taught me that because she held me accountable, and she was mean. So you know what? When she held you accountable, you get slapped. So but you know what? At the end of the day, guys, one thing y'all gonna learn is as a football player, as a student, that discipline is the key. If you get that discipline early, you open up to the world because you're able to see all the great things that you're able to do, the possibilities. But you have to have humility.
You talk about those things, and I always think it's awesome when you go through kind of what you believe in, because you mentioned nothing that dealt with the game of football itself. That was all stuff that impacted your life off the football field. But I do like to focus on, because I assume we have a lot of athletes in the room. How did what your mom and dad taught you, instilled in you, help you become a better athlete, whether it be at the high school, college, or professional level?
Well, I grew up in, the bleachers are like 4 rows up, and then most of the time they're up on the hill with blankets and stuff watching the game. And I was in the 7th grade, and I was sitting on the bench, and I heard my mama say, "Why ain't my boy playing?" And I'm sitting there, and I'm going like, "Oh Lord, please Jesus, don't let it be heard." but you know your mama's voice, and she came down all the way up. She said, "Why ain't my boy playing?" Hey, at that point, tears started coming down my eyes, because I knew what I was gonna get when I get home. And the coach turned around and started telling her I was lazy, I was blah blah in front of everybody. I know that I shamed her. And that's the reason I was crying, because I didn't set to her standard. And that coach did the wrong thing. He put me in the game. That was the last time I sat on anybody's bench ever. And so we're all gonna have somebody that push us to different kinds of excellence. And it took me being great in high school, and then I got an opportunity to go to college. And then me setting a different standard in college. First of all, number one is getting my education. I went to school really 3 grade levels behind. James Madison should not have let me in the school, but they took a chance on me. You understand what that means? Every time in your life, somebody's gonna take a chance on you. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna elevate, step up, or are you gonna let the pressure pull you down? And I got there, and when I went to East-West game, all these big schools wanted to sign me. But I made a commitment to JMU because they told my mama that that I was gonna graduate college. And when I got there, I worked hard to get that. And that was one of the things, hardest thing I ever done in my life. Football is easy. And so then I took that to the NFL. But every bit of excellence that I did, I got from my head coaches, because they set the standard of excellence for all of us. And I just think as we look out here, guys, you can look at me as an NFL player, but you also need to look at me as a broken man, because I had a mental illness. I tried to hurt myself when I was growing up. I had to go through things. But the only way you got to go through things to get through it, right? So when you look at me, I just want you to understand that I fail a lot, but there were always somebody to help me up. So no matter what happens in your life, guys, I'm bipolar. I have a mental illness. And I'm not ashamed, because it's just like having a diabetes. You got to take medicine. I take medicine every day. So whatever you're going through, if you're going through something, guys, ask for help, okay? Just believe you're stronger than what you think, okay? I forgot, did you ask me something about the NFL?
No, hey, that's great. I wanted to actually pivot a little bit off of what you talked about. And you mentioned there, when you're given an opportunity, for you it was once you stepped on that field after coming off the bench, you never went back on the bench. You talked about the opportunity to get an education in college. So I want to talk to you, especially if you're a football player, you might think you're a great football player, your only option is I want to go to a big Division I school, or I only want to play this position. What is it about you that these students can take from you, and the opportunity, that idea of whatever you're presented, take it, because you don't know if you're going to get another chance?
Well, first of all, I'm looking over at these guys. They look like they're falling asleep and all that. You shouldn't have came if you're going to do that, okay? Stand up, man up. Stand up, man up, okay? I came, I volunteered to come here to talk to you guys. I came here vulnerable, telling you the absolute truth. Respect is not given, it's earned. I'm trying to earn your respect. But you know what? Emptying the bucket. Telling you, guess what? These are the mistakes I made. But it didn't define me. These are the mistakes I made, but it didn't define the man that I am today. So you need to, every time, guys, when your head coach, your teachers, you need to listen. You need to question things. You need to open your mind to new possibilities. I love football. God gave me something I could be great at. And you know what? That was my prayer. When I was going through all these things, I said, God, please give me something to live for. He gave me football. And then, my mama, after I told my mama what I did, she took me to church and I had to get baptized. But in the country, the way you get baptized, they didn't have that tub that you get in. You had to go to a creek. And most of the time they go after the rain, right? So the creek is flooded, and you got the diggings out there trying to push the debris and stuff, and you see the diggings, a limb hitting them, they going in the water and stuff. And so I'm walking out there looking like this, and the pastor told me, boy, you better walk out here on faith. Hey, when he dipped me down in that water, man, I drunk up a lot of water, but you know what? I came out a different man. You know what? I had no fear anymore. And guys, everything in your life is about who you are. Are you a follower? Me? My mama told us to blaze our own trail. Because you know what followers do? They look at people's feet. Hey, your head never get up. But when you make your own trail, you got no choice. Because you got to see where you're going. How many of you are willing to make trails? Raise your hand if you're willing. Hey, don't just do it just for the hell of it. Because, hey, you can put your hands down. Hey, that's going to define you. And guess what? When you make that trail, pull somebody. Don't let them walk behind you, but pull them, let them walk beside you. Because the greatest thing I've learned, guys, that I miss is team. I miss my teammates. I miss a group of men getting together with one goal. I miss that. That's the biggest thing I miss. I'm sorry for
that was great. I do want to touch on the idea of taking advantage of, not taking advantage, but jumping at the opportunities that you're given, whether it's you're the backup and you got to go in for that one play, or you're presented with a scholarship to a school maybe you're not really sold on, but it's a scholarship, the chance to continue your football, your education. How important is it for students out here to realize that even if it's not the opportunity that they might want, it might be the opportunity that they need to take?
You know, the biggest failure now with the kids, I work with the 49ers and the Cowboys. The athletes come in, guys, they come in with 20, 30 hours of school. They don't believe in education. But you know what? You're one injury away, guys. You're one injury away from not being an NFL player. What are you going to do if you don't have education? You can't think. You can't perform. And I went to the NFL. I never lifted weights. I walked on the JMU at 160 pounds. And you know what? I started. I took it. They didn't give me jack. I took the job. Hey, what I said, I don't sit on people's benches, right? Did y'all understand that? The only way you don't do that, you have to take it. Hey, somebody give it to you, they could take it away from you. Okay? And then, you know, I went into the NFL at 200 pounds. I walked in the 49ers, all I could see is people looking down at my feet and coming up. Hey, they didn't see the man because they didn't stay up here. They just want to look at this body and think, oh, it's frail. Because me and weights, we wasn't friends. But you know what? I'm a country boy. I grew up by throwing hay bales and, you know, silos. I did it all. Hey, and the thing that I learned is, you know what? I took these tools, these long arms, my quickness. I used that to my advantage. And being a smart player, I learned everybody's position on every play. On every defense, I knew where everybody's supposed to be lined up at. When guys get confused, they ask me. Okay? And, hey, you have to take advantage of those opportunities. And, you know, I have to tell you guys, they did that to me, guys, and, you know, it made me so angry. I walked out in the middle of the floor, and I took these things, I balled them up, and I told them I ain't going no damn where. I ain't going nowhere. Everybody looked at me and like, you know, they looked at me like, okay, what is this rookie talking about? Hey, when I went out to practice, God, they going like, oh my God. But I just tell you guys is that you got to have the will to be different. You have to have the standard of excellence. And the biggest tool you have to do that I did every day, and I taught my kids this. You got to visualize. You got to see yourself being successful, whether it's taking a test, playing a game, or whatever you do in your life. You have to see it. You have to see it. And then next thing you do, you got to verbalize. You got to tell somebody I'm going to be great. I will walk in and say, you know what? I will tell the player, I'm going to be the best player on the field. And you know what people going to do? They're going to hold you accountable. But you know what? People fail because they hold you accountable. And you know they will. So if you do those things, guys, if you try them, just try them. Yeah, hey, you may fail, but just keep doing it. You know, and my kids, they go like, okay, what did you do good? What did you do bad? How are you going to fix it? Hey, what did you do good? What did you do bad? How are you going to fix it? As an athlete, if you're in here, you're an athlete. What did you do good? What did you do bad? How are you going to fix it? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself. And you know what? When you start formulating that idea of what you did good, what you did bad, and how you're going to fix it, then you have the wisdom enough to ask for help. And coaches are there to help you. Teachers are there to help you. But you have to ask for it because they don't know what's going on in your head, okay?
All right, well, we got a bunch of questions for students to ask today. Oh yeah, so first one's gonna be in the back corner there. So state your name, the school you go to, and then go ahead with your question.
My name is Riley Wonder, and I go to John Glenn High School. My question for you is, how did you take the lessons you learned from playing football and apply them to your own life?
Whoa, I think that's really easy. I took discipline. That was the biggest thing for me is discipline. I took Bill Walsh. My head coaches influenced me a lot. Bill Walsh was a brilliant guy, so I wanted to be like him. I wanted to understand, know everything. And then George Seifert was a micromanager. I'm a micromanager now. I have a foundation, and I think I should let the employees do what they want, but you know what? I'm always over top. It's hard for me to let other people go. And then Jimmy Johnson was just I probably can't say that word, but he was kind of a Hitler. And then Barry Switzer was a players coach. And when I say player coach, he wanted you to be your own man. And all those guys, all those things, guys meant a lot to me, and it formulated who I am today.
Awesome, thank you. All right, we're gonna have our next student go ahead and step up to the microphone. So our next student, go ahead and state your name, the school you go to, and then go ahead with your question.
How you doing? My name is Trey Rochelle. I'm a senior at Columbus East High School. And my question for you is, what was one moment in your life where your character was tested, and how did you get through that?
Say it again, I can't hear you mumbling.
What was one moment in your life where your character was tested, and how did you get through that?
Well, what was one moment in your life when your character was tested, and then how did you get through that moment?
My character was tested and I failed. My daughter had leukemia, and I went all around to try to get unrelated bone marrow transplant for her. We couldn't find it, and all I could see is her dying, and I turned to alcohol and drugs because I couldn't figure out a way to do it, and so I was tested and I failed, and but yet my daughter, she's in remission. She's been in remission. I didn't trust God. I tell people I believe in God, but I didn't trust Him to help me find a way. And and then my mental illness, that played into it. But once I got help with my mental illness part, the drug addiction, alcohol addiction went away. But I just want you to know I'm human. Okay? It's hard to admit things like that, but you know what? The truth will set you free, and I'm free. Is that good, young man?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Damn, y'all got tough questions.
Want to talk about, you talked about a little bit about your journey, high school to JMU, to the NFL, and we always like to know, what was that one thing that made you go to JMU? Not a huge school. You mentioned you walked on, but and you talked about them giving you the opportunity to get an education. Was that the main focus, or was there a part of you that went, yes, I want this education, but my football dream isn't over yet?
Oh, I didn't care about football. I just wanted to get out of Gladys, Virginia, working on the farms, working in tobacco fields, man, being treated like I wanted something different. You know what? I wanted something different, and they gave me a bite of that apple. I wanted the whole thing. So I wanted out. And when I got that opportunity, my Jesus Christ, I wasn't gonna let it go. Hey, I was gonna stay there. I asked for help every day. Coach, can you, whatever, tutors, whatever it took. But I didn't want to go back. Hell, I didn't want to go back to visit. Hey, but my mom and them was there. But I tell you that, education is, guys. I went to treatment, and I came out of treatment, guys. For the first time in my life, I could see out the window. So I came out, and a month later, 2 months, I followed a contractor around, and then my house, I remodeled my house, and I was a GC, and I tore it and put did a second floor and stuff and redid it, and everybody was sitting there thinking like, you know what, he's crazy or whatever. Guys, my education, me taking care of my mental illness, I got a house that was 280, now it's worth 2.5 million. Hey, because you know what? There's no limit to what I can do, what I can accomplish. When I put my mind to it, when I set goals, attainable goals, okay, not those goals up there, but attainable goals. Every day I got goals. I go to my mirror say, damn, you can't improve on perfection. You know what that means? That means that God has told me that I'm gonna be great. But the moment I walk out that door, somebody's telling me this or that, trying to put me down. But I just told I love myself. I love me some me. Always remember, guys, no matter what going through, love me some me. All right? That is where your strength comes from.
All right, got another question in the back. Go ahead and step up, state your name, the school you go to, and then go ahead with your question.
My name's Noah Robinson. I'm from Plymouth. And how were you able to handle the spotlight and remain humble throughout your time in the NFL?
How did I handle the spotlight? It was easy for me. I'm an introvert. I go to work, go home. I was, as I told you, see, I had this 13-year-old kid inside of me screaming for help. So I didn't want to be around people because I didn't want them to know what I was going through. So that's kind of what I did. But what I think really impacted my life and I was able to lead men was that every day I walked in, before I walked in that building, I stepped on my ego. Because I knew if I came in there with it, I was going to get bruised because, you know what, players going to say something I don't like, and, coaches may say something I don't like, and you know what, hey, me getting mad about it is not going to change the situation. So I came in with humility, and I led men. I broke men too, to rebuild them, because I had plans for them to be great. And the men that I played with, guys, they all got paid. They all learned a skill set. Most of you guys got one skill. That's only going to take you so far. I had a skill set. That means I was mobile, agile, and violent. I'm probably very violent, but we ain't gonna go all the way there. But you know what? I had three things. And guys, you can't just have one thing, okay? Because you're gonna get defeated all the time. I see my guys here from yesterday rebuild, huh? There's more of y'all here that I ain't seen you. Where were you at? Are you with rebuild? That's okay. I'm sorry.
I want to talk a little about the idea of staying humble. You popped in when we were playing the intro video, and we like to include some clips from fellow Hall of Famers, mostly teammates, talking about your influence on them. You heard from Ronnie Lott, Jerry Jones, Troy Aikman, and Mr. DeBartolo. What's it mean for you to step back at the end of your career and then be able to see and hear the influence that you had on 4 individuals, but hundreds more?
Well, it's great. But, when you're going through the storm, nobody says thank you or appreciate you for what you've done. That's why it's always better to pass respect forward, and one day it comes back. None of those guys ever told me up front that they appreciate what I did. I have to hear it there. Jerry Jones, about 3 years ago at the Super Bowl, he came up and hugged me and told me we couldn't have did it without you. And, and I wouldn't let him make it. I said, well, it took you like 30 years, 20 years to say it, but I started laughing. And Jimmy Johnson, man, when he went in the hall, he hugged me and told me that, that he wouldn't have won without me. Those things are emotional, but, it makes you feel great, man, that the guys that you play with respect you like that. And I'm one of those guys that don't understand other people's love when you know that you push the envelope too far, but yet they still love you. And I'm still trying to figure that out. And but as long as I know in my mind is that doing the right thing matters. Character matters. All you got is your name and your character. Once you destroy one of them, it tears up the other one, okay? And the other thing I want y'all to know is when I went to JMU, I told you the hardest thing I ever did was to get my, did I tell y'all I gave him my Hall of Fame bus? Why? I know y'all going like, why, right? Anybody ask yourself why? Because I want every guy to walk through that damn door that plays football, that they should get that education. It's not a right, but a privilege. Get your education. Hey, change your trajectory. See the impossible things possible. But you can't do it if you don't have education. Education is mobility. If you don't want to live where you at, guess what? Get an education, because you can change it. But if you don't get that education, guess what? You stuck. Huh? Just know that, all right?
All right, another question in the back. Go ahead, state your name, the school, and then go ahead and ask your question.
My name is Andy Rickelman. I go to Stowe Monroe Falls. My question to you is, what stadium was the toughest to play in during your NFL career?
Ooh, Philadelphia, the Redskins, the Dog Pound, hey, Jesus Christ. Y'all, hey, and the Raiders, hey, y'all guys was terrible. The Raiders throw batteries at you. Hey, the Redskins spit at you, all kind of crap, man. The Giants. Hey, the rest of the teams in the NFL, they were stadium full with Cowboys or 49ers. They couldn't get no fans there, so we got there, dog. So we took over. But the other ones, I don't know if I seen a Cowboy fan up in there. If they did, they got that butt whooped at the end of the game. Hey, I would tell my family when they come to those games, do not wear Cowboys, don't root for it, don't say nothing. They still like that. Hey, they don't take it laying down. So, so if you're rooting for another team at the mother stadium, guys, I would be good about it.
You mentioned they're playing for two franchises like the 49ers and the Cowboys that are, cheered throughout the entire country, entire world. You played for two Hall of Fame owners who you saw there in that video, and Jerry Jones and Edward DeBartolo. What was it like to have those guys overseeing the team, and could you see the brilliance in them and how they ran their team to be so successful during your run with both of them?
Well, Eddie DeBartolo was a golden stamp for the NFL owners because he was able to put the best talent together, and every player loved him because he would do the extraordinary for you. And then Jerry just took what Eddie took to the 100th degree. He's the greatest salesperson ever in life. He sold me on the Cowboys. I get out. I'm leaving the team of the '80s to come to the Cowboys that ain't did nothing, and I'm walking through the airport, and they got all these cameras and lights and a hand stick off, say Hi, I'm Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, and welcome to the Dallas. And I'm looking at this dude, man. I didn't know who he was, and he grabbed my daggone bag, man. I'm going like, okay, what is So I'm like, man, who the hell is this? And so then we go down to my get my luggage. He grabbed my luggage, and I'm going like, who is this? They said, he's the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Wow, okay. So we got in the car, you know, he's talking, and I'm going like, man, just get me to the hotel, you know. I was like depressed and stuff. And then before he got out, he said the magic words. He said, I got your back. Nobody's ever told me that, other than my mom and dad. And I'm going like, okay. Because you have to understand, I was going to a team. They were already a team, and I was going to a team. How am I gonna get them to respect me? And when Jerry said that, that gave me the opening to be Charles Haley. I didn't have to come in and try to be a chameleon. And so I came in to rock the house. Hey, break down those walls. Make people understand that there's only one standard. Did that help you?
Yeah, that was great, yeah. I got some more questions in the back, so go ahead and step up, state your name.
Hey, pretty girl.
The school you go to, and then go ahead with your question.
Hello, my name is Amari, and I'm from Camp McKinley High School, and my question is, you won 5 Super Bowls, but which one was the most special to you?
Hey, Super Bowl 27. You know why? I wore one glove because of Michael Jackson, because we're thrillers, you know, and he, and he played that Super Bowl, you know, and I'm going like, and you know, people got mad at me because I wouldn't go in the locker room, because I was out there moonwalking in cleats. Hey, don't get it twisted.
That's awesome. All right, we got another student ready for a question, so go ahead and step up. Just like everybody else, state your name, the school you go to, and then go ahead with your question.
Hello, Charles. I'm
What's
Chloe
up?
Huball. I'm a sophomore at John Glenn High School. My question for you today is, who influenced you the most in your life, and how or why did that person do it?
I told you, my mom and dad, because they loved me unconditionally. I saw the hard work that they had to do to raise 5 boys, and they were always there for us. You know, even though they went to the 9th grade and 6th grade, they made sure we got an education. And so, just watching what they had to go through to get us where the kids are today, it's amazing.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for
girl,
that question.
Sit down. What you doing back there?
Charles, we talked through your career. You know, you end up being enshrined in here to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Can you talk a little bit about that moment? That moment where that phone rings, you answer it.
What phone ring? You got a knock on the door.
See, I was just making sure you knew it. Making sure you knew.
Yeah.
You get that knock on the door, and you are told you are a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. What are the feelings that kind of come over you when you finally found out you were going to be enshrined?
Well, I guess it's good, but the worst part was the first 3 years that I didn't get that knock, and you get to hear somebody next door screaming and yelling because they got in and you didn't get in. And then you get the pity party when you go across to the honors, everybody saying, my God, I thought you would get in, you know, blah, 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 you know. So that was the worst part. The best part is when I got that knock on the door, and I walked up to the door, and David Baker said, welcome to the NFL Hall of Fame. And my knees almost buckled on me, man. And my family members were, you know what, guys, I don't even know, man. You know, David Baker is like 6'2", 6'10", 6'11". So I had to look up there. So I was looking up there, and I was going like, and big dude, dog. Good Lord. And I'm going like, God, thank you so much. And so when I closed the door, I know somebody caught me, but I know my legs just went numb on me, man. And then my family and everybody screaming and yelling. And I just felt like I was the most special man in the world, man. And then walking out on that stage in front of everybody, being told that you're in the Hall of Fame. And then they screwed up. They told me that, you know what, I'm for life. They can't take this back. Hey, bro, I'm going like, I don't know if y'all should have told me that one, bro. I think y'all should have just put it on a wall or something. Hey, but yeah, it's man, greatest feeling in the world.
So you get to experience that, and then a few years ago, you get to be on the other side, and you get to knock on a door to help let Bryant Young know he's going to be a Hall of Famer. What was it like to now experience it on the other side of that door, letting Mr. Young know he was going to be in the Hall of Fame?
Oh man, it was so exciting watching him just glow, watching the family screaming, and you know they wanted to do some more pictures, so we went in the back of his house. He's in North Carolina, so it just did a freeze, and his pool was going right, and he was standing by the pool, and I'm going like, man, you know what? Somebody need to be in the pool, right? So I pushed him over in the pool, right? Dog, then it dawned on me that it was free. He going like this, right? But trying to smile, right? Hey, I had the mic on and everything. I found to the left. I went to the left. That was the exit. I went to the left. Hey, it was a car there, and I jumped in that car. I was going. They said, could you come back and bring the mic back? I said, yeah, y'all gonna meet me out here on the road, just in case that brother get mad. No. Hey, I don't know, man. I believe in fun. Every moment I get, I try to make the people around me understand my love and the joy that I have.
Awesome. All right, we got a couple more questions from the back, so go ahead and have a student step up, state your name, the school you go to, and then go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, my name's Claire Van Dam. I go to Theodore Roosevelt High School, and my question for you is, what is your favorite moment from your NFL career and why?
Your favorite moment?
My favorite moment is I guess it was Ronnie Lott had some kind of charity event, and he told me I was going to go, and it was my day off. I didn't want to go, so but Ronnie told me I was going, so I went, and so I get there, and we're giving out shoes and stuff, and this 10-year-old kid walked up to Ronnie Lott, and he said, "What makes you great?" I heard the question, and I started sliding over. I slid over a little bit more. And Ronnie said, "I play without fear." You realize I never thought about that? And that was the last day I was under his wings. I spread my own wings, and I went out there and I played without fear, and I allowed myself to be what I am today. So I guess the lesson I learned is that maybe I was afraid of success. I was afraid of something. But that day, that kid set me free. How many coaches are here? High school? Hey, are y'all? Is football like it is in Texas? Crazy.
Uh-huh.
It is.
Mm-hmm. We think it's a little bit better, but that's a whole nother conversation we can get into.
Who is we?
We here in Northeast Ohio. Ohio. That's a conversation for another day.
Okay, we'll work on that another time.
We go through, you go through this whole thing, you get your chance in the NFL. We always like to see, through your entire career, you become a Hall of Famer. There's all these things outside of the game. You're a Hall of Famer. The epitome of individual success in the game of football is, getting that gold jacket. Outside of the game, what do you consider your greatest success being?
My greatest success is my foundation, Tackle Tomorrow. We provide reading for underprivileged kids. We go to the schools that, ELF schools that they're about ready to close, and we turn them into miniature private schools. We bring technology, cameras, whatever they need. We set up labs. We bring retired teachers in there to help the teachers. And then we turn and build the community up, having barbecues, because the reason kids are not progressive, especially African American kids, because parents don't bring you to school early, and then we get behind. Okay, that's the thing that I've found with African American kids. Hispanic kids are in the worst neighborhoods are the best students because the parents make them come to school even when they're sick. So, but it gives me great joy every day to be able to go out, raise money, push the envelope. We got AI in the school, so when kids read books, the AI corrects them if they're saying words wrong. So I'm a guy to push the envelope a lot for change. I go down in the schools and I break up the concrete if I have to, because somebody's gonna learn what leadership is, what responsibility is, what commitment is. So all the pillars that I have and all the standards that I have, I try to instill it in the principles and stuff that we serve. And we're taking schools from out 130 out of 129 out of 130, 1 to 7th in the district. And so what we do works. What we provide works. And guys, it gives me a reason to get up every morning. You know, most retired guys stay retired, don't do nothing. But this gives me a reason to get up every morning because we're doing it with elementary kids, and we're really changing the projection of these kids' lives.
Awesome. All right, got one last question in the back from a student here, so go ahead and state your name, the school you go to, and then go ahead with your question.
My name Phoenix Hall. I go to Project Rebuild, and my question is there a player in the game today that you think reminds you of the way you played?
The game today is different than when I played. This is a more passing game. They've used rules to take out the physicality of the game. So it's a whole new game. Be honest, I don't watch it. And plus my brain is different. I'll find myself just looking at the offensive line and defensive line, looking at what they doing right, doing wrong, and how I would beat them, and then I don't really enjoy the games. I go to every Cowboy game, and I leave after the first quarter. Because I'm working. The only reason I go there is because I'm working. I got to make that money. You know, hey, without that green, I can't scream. But hey, we have a coach that got a question. Yeah,
no
I
pressure.
That. Yeah, coaches ain't that smart unless they got the blackboard in front of them, dog.
I got one last question here before we wrap up, and I want to, again, thank you so much for being here today, taking time out of your busy schedule to come here, speak to all these students. Last thing you want everybody to leave here. If they can only remember one thing, what is that one thing you want them to walk out the doors and take away with them today?
Okay, well, let me hey, I guess hey, guys, I want you to know that that we all go through something. We all go through something. But are you going to let that define you? Are you going to let that define you? And guys, remember, greatness lives within inside of you. Are you going to let it out? or you're going to let it out. And people around you see it. They may help you pull it out. But one way or the other, guys, hey, believe in you, believe in yourself, love yourself. Hey, and if you do anything, if you don't do it because you love it, you love the game, then you're wasting time. Find something that you're passionate about, that you love the most, and go for it. Because you know what? When I was a kid, I reached up and grabbed my dream. It's right here. It's still here. And I'm never going to let it go. Because I can do anything I want to do. And nobody's going to ever take that away from me. So guess what? When you see these fists ball, either it's ball because I'm going to whoop some butt, or I'm looking at my dream. Hello.
Let's give a big round of applause for Hall of Famer Charles Haley.